Hey, what's going on, NFL fans, Atlanta Falcons fans, man? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Antoine Smith, Smitty Sports Machine. Y'all know I get down. Y'all know I do it, man. Press that subscribe button. Also, press that notification bell. Get my videos as soon as I drop them. Press that like button. Help me get my recommendations up to get my video through the YouTube universe. Right quick, man. Very quick. Not going to hold y'all. Matthew Judon, former Atlanta Falcons outside linebacker slash edge rusher, did an interview not too long ago. And Daniel Flick wrote it in an article on SI. Shout out to my nephew Daniel Flick, man, a big supporter of the show. Uh, but he kind of blasted the Falcons and Jimmy Lake, well, mainly Jimmy Lake, because the Falcons were tied to him. He actually got fired after a lackluster season on defense by the Falcons. Finished next to last in sacks again for about the sixth time in the last 7 years, something like that. But I with the way the quick interview came off, man, he had reason to do so. And shout out to my boy Berto, my boy Chris, other content creators. We talked about this all season. That Jimmy Lake was a big mistake and his scheme did not work because, as y'all know, somebody else took over the scheme midway through the season. Falcons defense got better, but those last two games with Washington and Carolina, they let Jimmy Lake back into the driver's seat, and then again they crashed right into a wall on defense again. But Matthew Judon in this interview, man, I'm gonna put the part that I want y'all to see up on the screen. It says in the interview with card players Kyle Odegaard, Judon did a basketball game citing his usage with defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake's system, reason for his statistical regression. And I agree with that 100%. But he goes on to say, hell no, it wasn't bad luck. If you go look at the film I dropped in the coverage, 60% of the time, it's hard to get a pick and a sack on the same player. That's absolutely true. That's all we need to see with that part right there, man. That's all we need to hear. We knew Matthew Judon dropping back in coverage was a mistake. We all knew that. We all said that. So, what is his specialty? Sacks. He had 5.5 last year to go along with 41 tackles, had a pick six, but he was not the Matthew Judon that we were used to, the New England, the Baltimore Matthew Judon. And listen to this crazy stat. Judon played 655 snaps last year, according to Pro Football Focus. He rushed the pass on half of those snaps. He played 240 in the run defense, which makes up another 36.6%. That leaves 87 snaps and that's 13.3%, where he didn't either rush the pass or defend the run. He was just standing there like a damn crash dummy. So, if you think about what he's saying and you look at the numbers, it was basically Jimmy Lake's fault for not scheming properly with these edge rushers. On the Ebiketie, I think he had 6.5 sacks, but you waste a third-round pick on a guy that could not do his job properly because you didn't have the right scheme for him. And that falls on Raheem Morris and Jerry Gray as well because they're veteran coaches and they should know better. So this Matthew Judon thing with Atlanta, I think it didn't go well because of what they had scheme-wise. You also look at injuries to the key players, which is probably why he was dropping back in coverage because Nate Lamon and Troy Anderson, they were both hurt a lot last year. But D'Angelo Malone, he got a couple of sacks. He really didn't get the chance to showcase his skills. But this with Matthew Judon, man, I think he's absolutely spot on, and I'm not mad at him. I would blast their ass too, to be honest, because at the end of the day, your job is to get out to the quarterback, and they don't put you in a position to do that. How can you do it? So, also, he was asked in the same interview with them drafting two edge rushers, James Pierce and Jalen Walker. Was it unlikely that he returns to Atlanta? He said, probably, and he knows it. He's not coming back unless someone gets injured and he's still on the market. That's the only way. But the Falcons are going younger, faster, and I think with Jeff Ulbrich and Raheem Morris having chemistry, formerly being on his staff with Dan Quinn, they kind of know how each other think and how each other can fill each other out. But I think this is a big season for Raheem Morris. this is a big season for the Falcons because you have your cornerstone on each side of the football. You have pieces in place to succeed. I think Terry Fontenot is giving Raheem Morris and his staff more than enough talent to go out and make a decent playoff run or win the division even. So it's all on them. But this Matthew Judon, man, tell me what y'all think about this, man. Do y'all feel like he was right? I do. But y'all tell me what y'all think by dropping those comments in the comment box. Y'all know how we do it on Sports Machine, man. Let's debate, let's have fun. Hey, I would be mad too if I couldn't do my job. Man, hell, the Falcons wasted a third round pick they could have used on one of these talented players. But that's another story for another day. I will holler at y'all soon, man. The NFL season is slowly creeping upon us, and I can't wait because I think we're gonna have a superb season, team wise, interview wise, and just news wise. But I will holler at y'all later, man. Peace.